Every day, more than 200,000 vehicles race across a bridge, suspended high above one of the busiest shipping channels in the United States. Beneath them, massive container ships pass through powerful tidal currents toward New York Harbor, while violent winds and salt-laden air slowly attack the steel, holding everything together. Yet, despite carrying far more traffic than its designers ever imagined, the Verrazzano-Narrows Bridge remains one of America's greatest engineering achievements. When it opened in 1964, it became the longest suspension bridge in the world. But today, decades of corrosion, storms, and relentless structural stress are raising serious questions about the safety and future of this aging giant. Long before the Verrazzano-Narrows Bridge existed, the Narrows was already one of the most strategically important waterways in America. The narrow channel separating Brooklyn and Staten Island served as the gateway into Upper New York Bay and the Port of New York. Ships entering the harbor passed through these waters for centuries, helping turn New York into one of the world's great trading cities. Despite this importance, Staten Island remained physically disconnected from the rest of the city, relying heavily on ferry transportation and limited travel options. After World War II, New York's transportation system came under growing pressure as automobile ownership surged, highways expanded, and freight traffic increased across the region. Urban planner Robert Moses saw the Narrows as the ideal location for a major new transportation link connecting Staten Island into New York's expanding highway network. Although tunnel proposals were considered, engineers ultimately concluded that a massive suspension bridge would be the most practical solution. By the 1950s, plans for one of the most ambitious bridge projects in American history were beginning to take shape. Before we continue, don't forget to click on that subscribe button and like this video, as it's the best way to support this channel. The idea behind the Verrazzano-Narrows Bridge was simple in concept, but enormous in execution. New York needed a direct highway connection between Staten Island and Brooklyn to support the city's rapid post-war growth. Traffic congestion was worsening, freight movement was increasing, and planners believed Staten Island had major potential for development if it could be better connected to the rest of the city. Robert Moses strongly backed the project and pushed aggressively for its approval. The bridge was designed by legendary Swiss-American engineer Othmar Ammann, renowned for New York's iconic, elegant, and highly efficient suspension bridges, such as the George Washington Bridge, Bronx Whitestone Bridge, and Throgs Neck Bridge. However, the project quickly became controversial as entire sections of Bay Ridge, Brooklyn were demolished for highways and bridge approaches, displacing hundreds of families. Despite opposition, construction officially began in 1959, with workers battling deep tidal waters and powerful currents while building massive underwater foundations to support the towers. Meanwhile, thousands of steel wires were spun high above the harbor to form the enormous suspension cables capable of carrying the bridge's tremendous weight. When the bridge opened in November 1964, it immediately became the longest suspension bridge in the world. Its main span stretched 4,260 feet between the towers, surpassing the famous Golden Gate Bridge in California. The bridge's towers rose nearly 700 feet above the water, creating a dramatic new landmark visible from across New York Harbor. The bridge also featured several innovative design elements. Engineers accounted for Earth's curvature during construction, meaning the tops of the towers were positioned slightly farther apart than the bottoms. The structure was also designed to flex under strong winds and temperature changes, helping it withstand harsh harbor conditions. Its two-level roadway system ultimately provided 13 traffic lanes, allowing the bridge to carry enormous traffic volumes, while its 228-foot navigation clearance allowed some of the world's largest ships to pass beneath it into New York Harbor. The total construction cost reached approximately $320 million, an enormous sum at the time and equivalent to several billion dollars today. Yet for New York, the investment was seen as essential to the city's future transportation network. The bridge was named after Giovanni da Verrazzano, the Italian explorer who became the first European known to enter New York Harbor in 1524. The opening of the Verrazzano-Narrows Bridge dramatically reshaped Staten Island and transformed New York City's geography. Before the bridge, Staten Island remained relatively suburban and isolated compared to the city's other boroughs. But once it was directly connected to Brooklyn and the interstate highway system, development accelerated rapidly. New housing projects spread across the borough throughout the 1960s and 1970s, while roads, schools, shopping centers, and commercial districts expanded quickly. The bridge also became a vital transportation artery for the wider New York metropolitan region. Integrated into I-278, it connected Staten Island not only to Brooklyn, but also to New Jersey and Long Island through a wider highway network. Freight movement increased significantly, and the bridge became one of the busiest crossings in America. Over time, the Verrazzano also evolved into a cultural icon. Its towering silhouette became part of New York's skyline and frequently appeared in films and television productions. Every year, the New York City Marathon begins on the bridge, with tens of thousands of runners crossing from Staten Island into Brooklyn in one of the world's most famous marathon starts. Today, the bridge serves not only as a critical gateway into New York City, but also as a symbol of the city's engineering ambition. Despite its enormous strength, the Verrazzano-Narrows Bridge faces constant threats from both nature and human activity. Every day, the structure endures conditions that slowly push it toward deterioration. One of the greatest dangers comes from wind and extreme weather. Spanning open water exposed directly to Atlantic weather systems, the bridge is regularly hit by strong crosswinds that can make travel dangerous for trucks and other high-profile vehicles during severe storms. Hurricanes and climate change add further uncertainty, as seen during Hurricane Sandy, when the bridge was temporarily shut down while severe weather battered New York City. Rising sea levels and stronger storms could create even greater challenges for the bridge and its surrounding infrastructure in the future. Traffic volume creates another major challenge. The bridge carries more than 200,000 vehicles daily, far beyond what engineers originally expected in the 1960s. This non-stop flow places tremendous stress on the roadway, expansion joints, cables, and steel structures, while even minor accidents can trigger widespread traffic paralysis across New York City. Saltwater corrosion is an even more persistent threat. Constant exposure to salty marine air slowly attacks steel surfaces and structural connections. Suspension cable deterioration is especially concerning because the bridge depends entirely on these massive cable systems, where moisture can cause internal corrosion that is difficult to detect. Following the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in 2024, concerns surrounding aging bridge infrastructure intensified across the United States, bringing renewed attention to structures like the Verrazzano. Although designed with significant navigational clearance and protective measures, the bridge still faces ship collision risks, with massive container vessels passing beneath it daily into New York Harbor, making a catastrophic collision one of engineers' worst-case scenarios. Ultimately, the bridge's greatest vulnerability may be its importance itself. If the Verrazzano were ever seriously compromised, transportation across large parts of New York City could descend into chaos. By the late 20th century, it became clear that the Verrazzano-Narrows Bridge was aging under far more demanding conditions than engineers had anticipated. Decades of heavy traffic, harsh winters, salt exposure, and structural stress accelerated deterioration, leading rehabilitation efforts in the 1990s and early 2000s to focus on repairs, repainting, and roadway preservation, though officials recognized that much larger modernization programs would eventually be needed. A major turning point came around 2011, when the Metropolitan Transportation Authority launched one of the largest rehabilitation efforts in the bridge's history. Significant portions of the original upper-level roadway deck were replaced with a lighter and stronger orthotropic steel deck system to improve durability and reduce structural weight. Crews also modernized drainage systems, replaced expansion joints, upgraded lighting, and improved traffic safety infrastructure. During the mid-2010s, additional projects upgraded ramps and highway connectors around the bridge, while introducing dedicated HOV and bus lanes to improve traffic flow. By the late 2010s and into the 2020s, attention shifted toward long-term resilience, including seismic strengthening and structural reinforcement projects to improve the bridge's ability to withstand potential earthquakes. More recently, the MTA has focused on preserving the suspension cables through advanced dehumidification systems designed to slow internal corrosion and extend cable life. One of the greatest challenges is that the bridge can never fully shut down, forcing crews to rebuild and modernize the structure while millions continue depending on it every day. The future of the Verrazzano-Narrows Bridge will depend on continuous rehabilitation and modernization, as engineers increasingly view it as infrastructure that must constantly evolve to survive changing conditions. Future plans include expanded cable preservation systems, additional deck rehabilitation, and advanced monitoring sensors capable of detecting stress, corrosion, and movement in real time. Engineers are also studying possible pedestrian and bicycle access upgrades, although the bridge's design and traffic demands make such projects difficult. Additional traffic modernization systems may eventually help manage growing congestion. Despite the bridge's age, there are currently no serious plans to replace it. A replacement would likely cost tens of billions of dollars, create transportation chaos across the region, and there is no realistic alternate route capable of handling the bridge's enormous traffic volume. Instead, the long-term strategy is to continuously rebuild, reinforce, and modernize the structure, allowing the Verrazzano to survive through constant transformation rather than replacement.